Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima. Welcome back to Let's Play Gundam Breaker 3. Something's changed, you might have noticed. I decided that I needed to go and do some offline grinding before I hopped into the contents of this episode because we weren't doing particularly well. And the game's difficulty does go up as time goes on, and unfortunately I just do not have something along the lines of, say, Treasure Hunter hooked up to him yet, so I didn't really have the parts I needed. So let's just go and have a quick look at what he looks like now. I haven't changed his weapons in form of melee. I'm still using the same old axe, but we have equipped a bazooka now, and we do have a couple of EX actions available for it. The head is the same, but the arms have been changed out. They are now the sumo arms because I wanted their burst action and option equipment. We do also have a new chest just because it's got some decent power behind it. New legs with some new option equipment. New backpack for Trans Am, but we're not going to be using that right now. And, well, we are going to be using that right now. I am correct. The shield is now, I believe it's different. We do have a missile launcher built into it, which is some nice stuff. And I've taken out all of our option equipment and replaced it, our builder's parts, I should say, that have the option equipment, and just replaced it with pilot figures for the bonus stats. Here's the EX actions we've got available to us right now: 2 bazooka and 2 axe, and a new burst action, the IF bunker. We've also got the IF booster, the GN beam dagger, and the GN long blade and short blade for our EX actions. 1 melee in range, 1 ranged. Pretty simple stuff. I just gotta remember if our SD is we've actually learned the SD thing yet. We have, but we can't really do anything about that right now until we get through the next set of missions. I call this part of Chapter 3 the filler arc because that's what it feels like. There is a lot of missions in this part that just feel like they're there to drag on this part of the story. So we're only going to get through the first half of it this time around because there's a fair amount of stuff that you need to take care of through this chapter, and it's definitely going to be longer than an hour. But yeah, it's going to be a long one. Settle in and relax. Let's go. Fucking buff ass shoulders I got there. Let's have a look at our new actions. The IF booster is probably the best because it's basically just a free paralyze. We do also have the long blade and the short blade. If I can avoid being hit for longer than a second, I can show them off. Those are your short blades. And I believe the long blades come out if you hold the circle button. So mix and match at your leisure. We've also got beam daggers. However, if we're just pressing circle, they turn into your traditional dual sabers, which are good for beating the shit out of an individual target. If you hold the circle button, whoops. Well, you missed that because I turned away at exactly the wrong time. But if you hold the circle button, it's also a free paralyze. Now I'm a Beyblade. I'm using all my EX abilities at once because why not? You just saw all 4 of the EX abilities. Thankfully, they all recharge really quickly. And the Beyblade one is actually really good. You get an enemy into a corner and they can't escape it. It's also really good at breaking parts off. Honestly, this bazooka just isn't very good. It just doesn't do much damage at the moment. I mean, I don't have that much in the way of bazooka DPS abilities equipped to it. So there's probably a good reason for that. It's just not great, is what I'm saying. I've also made my guy nice and shiny because I thought it fit the paint scheme and the... It fit the paint scheme and the fucking buff-ass shoulders really well, I reckon. So I made him nice and metallic. I'm not going to spend too much time customizing paint jobs, at least in this game, because... Well, to be honest with you, I just kind of don't see the point. We're going to be swapping out parts so regularly that it's just going to be kind of annoying to do. Yay, we got the Twin Rad. Run people down. Still handles like a sloppy piece of shit. But it's nowhere near as bad because we turned the camera sensitivity down. It just works much better as a result. Much more comfortable to control. Although you do still have to skid like crazy sometimes in order to get some of the hits in. Relevant loading screen tip there. It's Beyblade! Seriously! This thing looks just... This is legitimately just a freaking Beyblade. It's great. Ah, the Blue Destiny unit. Seriously? Just wipe the floor with him. Like, did the last guy even get the opportunity to buff there? I don't think he did. That's kind of a good thing about having as many of them on the ground and broken as possible at the same time. If you're really good about it, the last one doesn't get the chance to heal. And you can just finish them off really quickly. I'm not going to argue about that as an approach. This was the area that the second stage of the game took place in, or at least one of them. Although it is in the afternoon. And admittedly, it does look a hell of a lot better. The lighting is just really well done. Oh, base jabber, base jabber. Well, no, come on, back to the base jabber. No, no, there we go. That's the base jabber I want to beat the shit out of. There we go. I do appreciate how Gundams basically just have their own surfboards with guns. Although annoyingly I do have to get off the surfboard in order to get that crate. missed. Sorry. My phone goes off. What's the random thing I'm going to end up talking about on this episode? We're going to need it, because there's a couple of stages in between that are just kind of... nothing really happens. So I guess I'll talk about the thing that happened as of this recording. Chances are this video is not going to go out anywhere near the time that I mention this. But someone on Twitter leaked that Gundam Breaker 4 possibly exists. And it's going to be for the PlayStation 5, the PC, and the Xbox Series X. Weird choice. I'm guessing the Xbox Series X is just for the Western release. Although even New Gundam Breaker didn't come out on the Xbox One, the Xbox One series. I'm sorry, that's the stupidest thing ever. Fucking Microsoft and their stupid goddamn names. I hate their shit. Someone's gonna cut the H off of that and make it sound really bad. Unfortunately, that cannot be the subtitle of this episode. YouTube, oh, did I just get a Stargazer backpack? Was that a backpack? There's the buff. Hyper Dodge Rifle. Almost read that as the Hyper DDoS Rifle. To be fair, considering how much this is based around technology, having a Hyper DDoS Rifle would actually be pretty funny. Paralyze. Paralyze again. I'm sorry, you have to lose. Psst. Oh, I missed. I really wish you could boost, like, in the air while you're using this. You can start it in the air, which is one of the best things that Gundam Breaker 3 did over the original two Gundam Breakers, but I wish you could just boost up in it and just be a fucking tornado. That would be brilliant. But yes, they did say that Gundam Breaker 4 exists. It hasn't been announced yet. It's a leak. As part of a tweet. As to whether it's true or not, I have no idea. I guess more people will be wondering where the fuck Elden Ring is, but... well, if that ain't FromSoft for ya. At the very least, Elden Ring can't be a Cyberpunk situation. They've said fucking nothing. So as a result, people have got nothing to be disappointed by. We literally just have leaked trailers that they didn't want to show off because they weren't ready yet, which is... like, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt on this one because they don't want to pull a freaking Cyberpunk. God, I do not know that one off the top of my head. Oh, the GPO1 full burning. As in B-U-R-N-E-N? Something like that? I legitimately don't know for sure. It's English Gundam names. They can be weird. Oh, did you hear about the, yeah, that also got announced today as well. There's a Gundam live-action movie being directed by Jordan Vogt-Roberts, who did Kong Skull Island, apparently. Wasn't there another one that was supposed to be happening with, like, Michael Bay or something? Or is this the same project? I honestly don't remember. There was another live-action movie called G-Savior, but I'll be damned if I didn't see that. Still going through bloody a rewatch of 79. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Oh dear, I've been knocked flat on my ass. Wow, did I just get my legs knocked out from under me? Little shit. Give me a Shenlong. I'm pretty sure that's the Shenlong. That or the dragon, one or the other. Funny how you get more shots off with that one EX action than you do with the entirety of one magazine of a bazooka. What an ugly mofo. Good God. Just that face. The cool thing is, if you've got a lot of abilities that sync up with getting your awakening meter back on hit, turning on the tornado ability here, and getting like 1 or 2 enemies in a corner is really effective. Like you can not only like stay in awakening for a lot longer, you can refill it. Then you just build up your EX actions again by doing regular attacks, and it has the potential to be insanely OP. Just love it. He just stood there and watched. He knew it was coming, but he still couldn't do anything about it. Keep him against the wall, that'll do the trick. R.I.P. Was that a Stargazer backpack? I got Stargazer arms. No backpack. Literally everything else except a fucking Stargazer backpack. It's the one thing I want for this game. Damn it. That was way too far away. I can't for the life of me get the range of the Tornado Axe down. Even in my alternate universe game where I was practicing with a bunch of EX actions, I still haven't managed to get the range of it down. It's just so short. Stop backing away, damn you. Accept your death with dignity and give me all your parts. Well, I guess this is as good a time as any to bring up the one thing I always mistake. So, the word that they use for parts in this game is basically just the romanization of it. It's partsu. I don't know if that's what the word is, but it's basically like they say it in the Japanese sounds, partsu. But it's also worth noting that the Japanese word for underpants, especially when it comes to women, is pantsu. So the first few times I played this game, and I'm pretty sure I brought this up on my original video on Gundam Breaker 3, was every time Misa would say, watashi no partsu, which means, oh dear, my parts, I would always think she was talking about her underwear. Not great. Wouldn't surprise me if they went that far. But no, this is actually a relatively tame game. Although it's definitely got one thing in this chapter which might convince you otherwise. We'll get to it. But for now, let's just try and continually beat the shit out of him. There we go. Just waiting for one of them to get back up. Just look at his meter disappear. It's such a good ability. If you need something that's relatively decent at crowd control, there's nothing better. I think we're done. Yeah, we're done. See, that was just kind of a nothing mission. I don't know exactly why that's there. It's not exactly story relevant. It's not exactly anything relevant. But it's there. The next mission is a lot more interesting, I promise. So we've got a trans type and a wing type. And we've got the Trans Am Burst, if we so desire. That might be interesting. I don't think we've got anything interesting in the way of parts. Yeah. Like, 1 or 2. Fated? You're clearly a robot already!
これから始まるジャパンカップに向けてロボタ用の機体をいくつか用意したんだ。本当？どうなの？そう慌てるな。準備が必要なんだ。ついてこい。イラトばあさん、この筐体コイン入れてもクレジット増えねえよ。もう一枚入れてみな。なんだよ。ワンプレイ2コインだったらそう書いとけよ。ってやっぱりクレジット増えねえじゃねえか。あんたはゲーム開始前から飲まれてたのさ。その筐体とこのあたしにね。うまいこと言ってんじゃねえよ。覚えてろよ。準備できたぞ。新しいステージが追加されてるはずだ。そこでボスを倒してこい。え、新しいロボットの機体は？
This is why I kind of call this one the filler arc, because wait until you see the cutscene after we finish this stage. It is ridiculous. That was also my dog leaving, because he was like, I'm sick of being here in this cold room, I want to be in the warm room. But then he's going to lay in the sun for a bit, think, oh god, it's too hot out here, and he'll come back in here, cool down, and the cycle will repeat approximately every 20 minutes. Because that's just kind of a thing that he does. I don't think we've got anything to change out here, so I think we'll just move straight back into the second mission of the chapter. Lacroan Heroes. They have some dramatic names for these chapters, don't they? Having played through the entire game on my alternate universe at this point, it's kind of weird looking at this, because I don't think you see this stage again in the main campaign. It might be in the DLC. Yeah, even I don't get that reference. Might be a reference to an SD Gundam series I don't know, I haven't seen or don't know of. But yeah, this is like the only time in the main campaign where you're fighting SD Gundams. Why? I don't know. This would actually be kind of a neat thing to have, just as a surprise enemy that comes out of nowhere. And the funny thing is, this is actually a real step up in difficulty. Like, these guys aren't kidding around. You need to be on the ball to take these guys out without getting your shit kicked in. See, I'm already down to, like, red health, which is not great. Thankfully, I do have access to healing materials. I'm telling you, man, really good ability. Super good for this part of the game. Also, you might have noticed that when I healed up, I got a lot of health back. One of the main things I focused on for both my alternate universe build and then after realizing how good it was there, this build is making sure I get as much health back as possible from my health. Whether it be like my regular repair kits or my EX abilities, because holy shit. The amount of damage you take and the amount of times you need to heal is ridiculous. So being able to heal up as much as humanly possible is incredibly useful. Do not turn down the abilities of increasing your healing ability for even a microsecond. It is so useful. Going from having your team ability and your healing wrenches there go from like 1/3 of your health to a full heal, it is basically just triple the effectiveness, and it only costs like 1 or 2 skill slots. And considering that you're going to have access to like 70 of the damn things, it's always useful. And as far as I think they can be equipped across multiple different parts. It's not like Treasure Hunter where it only goes on the head, or all the shielded ones that only go on the shield. You can get healing efficiency on a lot of different parts, and you absolutely should. Thankfully that went a hell of a lot better in this game than it did in my alternate universe game. Seriously, it is ridiculous how much better that went. And now you get to fight the weirdest boss in the game. Your name is Robota.
そうだ。貴様と同じ名前。私は自分の名前以外何も知らない。なぜ貴様と同じ名前なのかも知らぬ。しかし、貴様のやっていることは許せん。
何これ。
恥ずかしい。雑魚は引っ込んでよ。僧侶ガンタンク。
誰がガンタンクだ。
貴様は勇者の名を汚す者。消えてなくなれ。
Would have been funny if they actually made her like a gun tank. Like, just require her Gundam to wear, like, the treads. Even if the rest of it was just completely the same. That would have been great. But no, this is the Satan Gundam, the Demon Lord. Because that's a thing, apparently. He's actually quite difficult, because it's really hard to get close to him without being buffeted by an endless rage of freaking attacks. See, especially when you try getting close like that, he moves and drops a splash damage attack right in front of you. It can be bad, which is why I recommend maintaining several ranged attacks, especially when he decides to do that. Listen to that laugh. Please feel free to tell me whether or not the whole discussion they had about their names being the same was like a reference to an SD Gundam series, because I know there's been multiple over the years. I'm assuming that's a reference to something. Notably, all of the SD Gundams that have shown up in the game so far, and will continue to show up, never actually showed up in a proper Gundam series. They're all in their own unique series, and every single one is a reference. In fact, I believe I actually own one of the variants that you get at, I believe, the midpoint? Actually, this is technically the midpoint, so we're about to get them. That's a bit of a spoiler for what's going on, but yeah, I know I own at least one of the variants that they show off in this game. They're actually kind of cute. And the neat thing is, if you're kind of afraid of just building a regular old Gunpla, I'd actually recommend going and getting an SD Gundam. Not only are they incredibly cheap, they're really big in terms of their parts, so it's easy to get a grip on them and figure out what you need to do without worrying too hard about breaking something. Smack. Let's just get a heal on to be safe. Ah, the beam boomerang. That wasn't technically a beam boomerang, but it looks like a beam boomerang. You can't get beam boomerangs later, and beam boomerangs were like one of my favorite weapons to use in Gundam Breaker 1. Mainly because I got a good part with them, and they were intensely effective. They were more effective than my regular freaking ranged attacks. It was something else entirely. Run away, run away, run away! I'm okay. I just have one thing to say. If you thought that this was a bit of an easy boss. Did you well and truly think this is it? Five frames per second to introduce the Black Dragon. Admittedly, it's kind of the same thing. He does get a couple of new attacks, but the tactics remain the same. Keep your distance and just beat the shit out of him when you get the chance. But it has to be the most entertaining fight in the game just because of how ridiculous it is. Also, kind of cool. I don't think you can even buy the Black Dragon as like an SD. Like, I've been looking around at like Gundams for a while, and I don't think I've ever even seen mention of the Black Dragon. I don't know if he's exclusive to this game, or if he's just really hard to find, or out of print, or what, but yeah. One way or another, he's really hard for me personally to find. He is notably also a bit more durable, but that is probably also helped by the fact that he can move around a lot more, and he's a lot harder to get close up to for more powerful attacks. Also, he does that now. Knocks all your parts off. Although, thankfully, he can't go in for ground breaks like most other AI. Ow. It's really disappointing that you only fight each boss in this game once. I mean, discounting later difficulty playthroughs, of course. It's just a shame. Because the boss designs are fun. I don't think that this guy's going to do much next to that. Yeah. He took a bunch of damage and got knocked flat on his ass. I mean, I'll take it. But it definitely didn't break his parts off, because you cannot get the Black Dragon as a Gundam friend, I believe. Bit of a shame you can't. It'd be great to see shit like this, but... Ow. Ow. Well, damn it, Misa. Help yourself. Alright, I'm coming, Really easy tactic for those beams of lightning. Just tap the R button when they get close. Doesn't matter what direction you go in, they never get close enough to each other to be really a threat in more than one. So just dodge out of the way. It'll work. Just did. 3 frames a second! Bloody gorgeous game, bloody gorgeous. Yeah, you don't even get any parts for that. It's just plastic. And not even that much plastic. Like, that'll barely get you, what, half a level? If your equipment's higher than level 5? Yeah, we've leveled up the Tornado Axe and we've unlocked the Cyclone Axe. Hacking down surrounding enemies that were drawn in. So it draws them in now. Your Beyblade sucks them in.
大いなる地の裂け目から神の板を持ちて勇者現る。その名はガンダム。こうしてラクロワに平和が訪れたのだ。
結局ロボットの機体はどうなったの？
ああ、フルアーマーナイトガンダムな。あと途中で戦ったシャドウと同じものを使えるようにしておいたぞ。
あのさ、門松。
Yep.
別に戦う必要はなかったよね。
帰って寝るわ。ステージ作るのに徹夜したからな。
あれ全部自作かよ。
Literally filler. Literally filler. Which is a shame, because again, it's one of the coolest and more unique stages in Gundam Breaker 3. Although, notably, it does actually come back in a relatively modified way. Just to spoil something for you here. When you unlock the extreme difficulty, you get to replay that mission again with 3 new SD Gundams. And you get to unlock them, as I'm about to show you. So if we come down to the SD selection, you can see that we can now pick a bunch of other different kinds of SD Gundams. I am like 99% sure the Command Gundam is the one that I've got. But yeah, we're just going to pick the Full Armor Knight Gundam, work our way down the list. But yeah, you earn some more at the end of the game, if I remember correctly, and then every time you replay that stage on the extreme and then the 5th difficulty, I know the name of it, I'm not going to say it, you get 3 new ones to put on, or 4 new ones. I can't remember the exact name, I apologize. The exact number. So yeah, we also now have access to a second slot, so now we can pick Analyze Weak Points or High Speed Learning. We're going to go with Analyze Weak Points so we can get as many parts as possible. And that's pretty much it. We don't have any new parts to put on, so let's just go straight to Stage 3. Dust settles. Not really that much dust to settle, I gotta tell you, man. Well, so he's gonna be back to normal now, but he's still nice and shiny and fun to look at, even if it is at 5 frames a second. So let's go. No more polka dot cape or shining gold spear. Shame you can't customize Misa's Gundam either. That'd be fun. I remember in Gundam Breaker 1 and 2, you had the ability to swap out your AI partners, but I don't think they let you do it in this one, which is a shame. This stage is very reminiscent of a similar stage in Gundam Breaker 2. But it's not the same stage, it just looks similar. Similar concept, similar location, but I'm pretty sure either they've changed it up a lot, or they just made it from scratch and it turned out really similar. Oh, I forgot to get my new EX action. Damn it, we'll get it for the next stage. You're not getting out of purgatory, mate. There you go. Rudium Gundam. Sounds like some kind of fruit. Some kind of exotic fruit I've never heard of. Cherudim. Never mind. I guess I'm a bit dim. Oh, God. How long have I been reading that the wrong way? I'm so sorry. Oh, see the... Oh, there you are. Dead. And there's the buff. You just see the effect of it off the side of the screen. Damn, I didn't ground break him properly. Oh well. There's just really not much to say about this stage either, because again, it's another filler stage before you get into like the actual plot of this half of chapter 3. This is basically just the filler to get you there, to try and fit more unique Gundams in. And again, I do apologize for that, but that's just how the game is. There's nothing I can do about it. I do want to at least make an effort of showing all the stages that you have to play. Because I don't want to go putting all the boring ones like into their own split screen thing. This is something you have to do, so it's something I really should show off. And to be fair, I don't really have a problem with it being a filler stage. Because you need more stages like to grind past to fit more Gundams into. Because there's seriously something like 200 in this game. And you can only have a few unique ones in each stage. So, the question is, which ones are you going to pick? Where are you going to spread them? It'd just be nice if there was a little more variety to them. One thing the Gundam Breaker 2 had going for it was a lot of variety in the way its stages worked. It was really quite impressive just how much they managed to get out of the concept. Would have been nice to see a few of those concepts return for Gundam Breaker 3, but I guess Gundam Breaker 3 was fine with being a more straightforward sort of title. I'll talk more about Gundam Breaker 2 in the future. Because there will be a special episode where we go over Gundam Breaker 2. In fact, there is already a special episode where we go over Gundam Breaker 1. In fact, you probably saw... Oh, no, has it gone up? No, it wouldn't have gone up before this episode. It will definitely go up in the future. Me replaying Gundam Breaker 1 and just remembering why I enjoyed it so much. Boom! Is the reason why I decided to let's play Gundam Breaker 3. God, that sounded painful. Not so much pain. It sounded like the Japanese dramatic style painful. There is a specific difference. Man, these episodes are never going to be shorter than an hour, are they? because I'm pretty sure we still have at least one mission to do. Welcome back, dog. We have at least one more mission to do, but there's probably like 2. At least, God. I literally looked at this yesterday. Getting, like, somewhat ready to record this episode. And for the life of me, I still can't remember the important bits. Thankfully, I do remember the important bits. Which are... beat the shit out of every enemy. We'll figure out the rest later. Pretty good army strategy now I think about it. Beat the shit out of them. Think about the rest later. Or possibly American cops, if they're in a really bad mood. Or if they're just terrible people. Which at least some of them are. Not all of them though. Funny story actually, one of my relatives works as a nurse for old people. An elderly carer, I guess we'll call her. And I actually had an incident that required me to talk with a cop more than a couple of times. And she ran into that cop. Because that cop had decided to stop being a cop and started being an elderly care nurse. Not the sort of trajectory change you would expect a cop to take, but that is something that happened. I do apologize for the entirely irrelevant commentary, but we're literally going up against the same kind of purple enemy that we did like 2 stages ago. What do you want me to say? Although, admittedly, I did run into a cop that was, like, a bit of a shitter as well. And please remember that I live in Australia, so we don't have, like, the same sort of thing going on with our cops as yours do, if you live in the United States. I was a kid at the time, right? I was, like, 11 years old. And I was not very good at the whole, like, sarcasm thing as a child. So I was never sarcastic, or at least tried to not sound sarcastic if I could have... There's a good one, the Wing Gundam. So I was never sarcastic if I could avoid it. So I literally just went up to this cop that was going through our school one day, and I said, well, I didn't even go up to him, I was just walking by, I just said, keep up the good work. I wasn't even being sarcastic, I didn't have a hint of sarcasm in my voice. And he pulls me over and gives me this, like, fucking 10-minute lecture on... God, I don't even remember what the fuck he said. It was ridiculous. Literally just say, hey, you're doing a good job, keep up the good work. And I get lectured at for 10 minutes. Don't know why. Guess he just wasn't having a good day. Tell you who else is not about to have a good day? You. I do appreciate how at the end of the heavy charge-up attack, he just looked up and admired his work as the Zaku's parts were flying through the air. There is something inherently satisfying about that. Really does make me wish they were able to bring back the heroic finish EX attack. Although I don't know what you would realistically do with it. Because doubling ace points in this game basically means nothing when it's already so easy to hit the targets that you need in order to actively get... Wow. What happened to you? Oh, wait a minute. Couldn't see him, so I couldn't lock onto him. Weird, but okay. I thought it was stuck in the wall there for a second. Yeah, I don't know how you would do a heroic finish EX action. Since the Gundam Breaker 1 video hasn't come out yet, I'll fill you in on this one. You had it... Ace points actually mattered in that one, because not only did they give you more awakening meter, depending on how many you could earn in like a combo, but they would also give you actual ace points, and there was like a score that you could reach in order to not only make stronger enemies appear on the field, but to unlock labels to stick on your Gundam as part of the customization. So you would need to get your ace points as high as possible, and a heroic finish would take a combo of those. Would take the points that you'd earned so far as part of the combo and just double them straight up, so you'd earn an absolute ton of points. Because, as I said, because ace points don't actually matter in this game, you need to do something different with them. Question is, what would you do? Like, would you double like your awakening meter? If you did it at the right time, would you make like an attack more powerful or something? So like, look at how much longer my awakening lasts because I used my tornado skill there. It's so much more effective when you do it with like 2 at once as well. Smack. Give me that ground break. It's just the fucking twirling backpack. Looks so neat. Alright, he's done. I had a little bit more health in him than I thought. Come on, give me your parts, let's go. The VR in VR Hangar stands for virtual reality. Yes, thank you. We figured that one out ourselves, I think. One other thing I missed from Gundam Breaker 2 is just the amount of environments. Gundam Breaker 2 is the only game in the series to actively let you go into space. And, like, space is in, like, floating platforms in the middle of space, not just, like, this arena, which might as well be on Earth. And, in particular, it would actually let you have infinite boost. So you could fly around to your heart's content if you wanted to. I don't know how they'd make it work with this combat system, but it was still just kind of a neat thing, and it would be nice to see that idea expanded upon. Ooh, the big boys. These aren't too bad here, but in a game like Gundam Extreme Versus, these are nightmarish. Because they have this big fucking nuke. It's legitimately a nuke. It does this huge splash. There it is. And in Gundam Extreme Versus, it is so hard to avoid. You need to be so good at the game in order to not only predict one of those coming, but get out of the fucking way. And even if you're playing as a GPO-2A, your fucking teammate can get in the way of that shit. And it's so annoying when you think you've got the best hit going, and then it's just like, nah, fuck you. I'm gonna fly in and take damage from this as well. See, look at that. Look at how fucking... Look at how much you can go fucking flying. Oh look, I got the atomic bazooka. I wonder what I can do with that. Is it use a gigantic nuke? Possibly. It might actually be locked onto another weapon. I might need to equip bazooka and then like equip that fat ass shield that he's got because he's a fat ass. Seriously, the GP02A might be the most thick Gundam that exists. Oh, I gotta wait for him to land before I can ground break. Donk. Thank you. Goodbye. We're done. I've heard that sound so much recently. I've been playing so much of my... Oh, cool! We got the Tomahawk Hurricane as well. We didn't get the big-ass EX, I think. I thought... Fires nuclear warhead! Never mind, we might have to go to the effort of equipping that. Thankfully, we have access to the EX action still, so... Let's go just fit all that up. This is already an hour long, and it's gonna be longer, so let's just... Fuck it. Caution to the wind. Let's get that big bazooka on us. But we'll start with swapping out those EX actions first. So give me the Tomahawk... Whoop. Give me the Cyclone Axe. And the Tomahawk Hurricane. How close are we to getting Multi-Blast and Spread Shell? About the same. They'll probably get upgraded in the same match. Yeah, we'll still use the IF bunker for now. Nothing new here. Alright. Let's get the Atomic Bazooka going. It's even got parts break on it, which is probably really good for the Atomic Bazooka. Probably. He says. Alright. The merging works a little bit weird, so you have to work your way down to the other categories instead of being able to sort by thing. It's annoying. Upgrade it from uncommon to rare, and now we can improve it using the clay bazooka with all the abilities you've already got on it. Let's take off the enemy kill EX charge, it's not great, and the shooting mode damage adjustment. I find I really don't use shooting mode, although someone who goes to the effort of putting on a ton of those shooting mode damage up things will probably get some good use out of it. Let's upgrade it, make it a bit stronger. So there we go, we now have the Atomic Bazooka, which is taller than I am. Ain't that something? Well, we'll see what the Cyclone Axe and the Tomahawk Hurricane are before we move off those as parts. I don't think there's anything here that's really worth equipping at the I apologize. That is certainly something else for an ability. So, you just saw a gold ability. Where is it? Where'd it go? What? What's this about? Why is this suddenly worth 15 grand as it is here? That's odd. I've not seen that before. But yeah, that's a gold ability. Gold abilities are special. They're a lot rarer, they're a lot harder to find. But they're often very useful indeed. Unfortunately, it looks like I haven't really got any other gold abilities to show you, but they can be really useful. Such as things like, brain work with me here. They can have such things as, you can't be seen by automated turrets. Or, you can't die instantly. You can't get one hit KO'd. Which is way more useful than you might think. Especially later on in the game. Alright, I think we've got all the upgrading done we're going to get done. Let's go and take on the next mission. We'll see whether or not I was right about it being 4 missions off 5. It's 5. Snowball. That's my chair creaking under me. buff. Both in shine and in shoulder size. So, Atomic Bazooka. Show me what you got. Whoa! Okay. That's cool as shit. I've never actually tried using that bazooka. Wow. That is a butt muncher. Good God, man. Well, at least you can't say it doesn't live up to his namesake. Although it looks like if you want to use it really effectively, you're going to have to build up a lot of ranged weapon EX charge things. Not EX charge things, just increase recharge. Make it recharge faster, because god damn. Come on, let me ground break him. Shenlong? Shenlong! Yay, I got it right this time. Alright. Let's see what the new Cyclone ones are like. Whoom! Ah, I got knocked out of it. Oh, no, there we go. Must have had him in the wrong slot. Now I'm an orange Beyblade. And this one lasts so much longer. No wonder it's got a slower recharge time. Holy shit. Hey, don't you run away. You get nuked. My god, man. And it even broke his legs off. I am so sorry. I am so sorry for the arse reaming you just received. You do not deserve to be destroyed that quickly. We're hanging on to that for as long as we possibly can. God damn. I keep absent-mindedly going to press the L button, forgetting that I'm not on the bazooka that has like 5 shots in it anymore. So I should probably be using my options equipment. Annoyingly, doesn't seem to want to follow the lock-on, the IF booster I mean. If I remember the stage correctly, there is a player fight or a red enemy fight, something along those lines, coming very soon, so I do not want to go wasting my shot right now. Beyblade! Seriously, that's just bollocks. That's absolute bollocks. Gotta tell you, man, though, that would be really useful for grinding out arena fights. Get 4 people stuck in your Beyblade, then when they're all sitting on the ground, half damaged, half broken out, fire a fucking nuke dead center of them, and basically win? Be easy 50k GP at least. I guess I was wrong about the next fight being a... whatchamacallit? Red dude fight, player fight. Oh, the head movements when they fall off, they're so majestic. I'm gonna go back and, I won't go back. Where's that crate? I am trying to turn my lock-on off, thank you. Crate's over there. Let's get it, let's get it. Let's get it.
やったぞ
I did not mean to fire that. Oh dear. Nothing about that was a miss, I'll tell you that much. Yep, here come the blues. It's a Turner Gundam! With the fucking mustache! Seriously, it's a mustache! Why did they give Gundams a mustache? It's just one of those questions. Like, why does Double Ho have aliens in it? Why does Iron-Blooded Orphans have such an obsession with the bloody Barbatos? Seriously, the amount of bloody forms and versions of that is ridiculous. Legitimately feels like they were just... Like, the entire idea of Gundam is to sell the model kits and to make money off them. That's how they got popular in the first place. Here's a quick rundown of Gundam so I don't have to make like a video explaining all of it, right? Gundam 79, which was just Mobile Suit Gundam at the time, premiered in 1979 off the back of things like Star Wars. Not entirely because of Star Wars, but Star Wars was probably a massive influence. And the thing about it is that it didn't actually do too well. It was originally planned for like 52 episodes, but it got cut to like 41 because the show was doing so badly at the time. And Sunrise, the producers, were like, oh man, this isn't doing very well. But then they realized that they had some of the toys still to go out, which were the first Gundam model kits. And they were like, we've already got a bunch of these made. It's not exactly a waste of our money to put them out, so just release them anyway. And they did, and they got immensely popular. And then people went back and watched the show and like, oh, this show is actually way better than we all thought it was. And the show got popular because the model kits got popular. And it was like, oh, we can make money off of this. And so they proceeded to milk the fuck out of Gundam. Which is absolutely not the wrong thing to do. I'm just saying that when they have like 6 different forms of any particular Gundam, like not even just like the mainline Gundam, just any particular Gundam, in the one series, and they release kits of almost all of them to the public, and not even like the P Bandai exclusive kits that you can only get through special order. It kind of feels like you're trying to shill it. To be fair, Iron-Blooded Orphans was actually making an impact in a lot of places that Gundam normally didn't for some reason. I think there was just like this big upswing in popularity of anime. I think it might have been like, it was either close to or the same year of the premiere of Attack on Titan. I think it was close to that. So it might have just got popular because people saw Attack on Titan and were like, hey, are there more shows like this? And Iron-Blooded Orphans just happened to be premiering at the same time. So it's possible that it just ended up being really popular and they thought, oh, we're only going to be popular for so long. Let's make something, let's make just like a lot of kits of this and sell as much of it as we can. Despite the fact it's Gundam. But, oh well. Yeah, there are so many Barbatos models. So freaking many. Come at us, bros. He just kind of stood there and took that one. He knew he was fucked. Stargazer backpack! Stargazer backpack! I want the Stargazer backpack! Mom, can I have the Stargazer backpack? Well, I managed to knock it off him. Good start. Open the crate. Yes! Stargazer backpack! Finally! I have my Stargazer backpack! There's the reason why I want my Stargazer backpack so badly. Mainly that it looks fucking sweet. Oh, no, your ground. Oh, never mind. Yep, his stagger meter just drowns. Did I just get a gold pair of arms? What the fuck? I was not expecting to get a gold pair of arms this early on. Usually they don't start showing up until a little bit later, even on my treasure hunter game, so... Man, okay, sure, why not? I admit that I'm slightly disappointed that the multi-shell doesn't fire out like 8 nukes. Although that would probably make the Vita explode and catch fire. Because there's really not much else you can do when you've got that much going on screen. It is worth noting that my alternate universe game is actually being played on a hacked Vita. So I do have the ability to actually like say, oh, I want to turn up the clock of the Vita's CPU and GPU to make the game perform a little better. But frankly, it's not even that noticeable. Oops. That's the noob. Well, I managed to get a few kills off it at least. But yeah, I have actually tried overclocking the Vita to see how well it can run Gundam Breaker 3. And it does help out during like the worst parts, when you've only got like 4 frames a second and nothing you can do about it. But just in general gameplay, you'll be lucky to get much higher than the 20s no matter how much you've overclocked your Vita in terms of frame rate. This is just a really heavy game. One of the Vita's heaviest, most likely. At least it's nowhere near as bad as fucking Nightcry. I think Earth Defense Force, and by Earth Defense Force I mean 2017 and not 2, because 2 is actually a really good port of a PSP game, so it maintains performance a hell of a lot better. But 2017 does get relatively close to the performance this game can have at times. A lot more often. So... Nuke! So... It is a heavier game, but admittedly this game just looks a hell of a lot better. Imagine if you were actually piloting this thing. You'd be fucking dizzy. I don't think the human body would be able to maintain spinning that fast while maintaining any level of control over the machine. Man, it's been coming up a lot. Wow, look at that one on the right. Whoa. Okay. Boom. Eat it. I wanted to try and get all the stagger meter off. Unfortunately, it looks like I missed the burst action too, so it's not gonna matter. Nice. ABC mantle on the back. It's really just a more ferocious looking crossbone with this one. Because of the Zaku arms? Because they got the spikes on them. To be fair, it's pretty easy to make a cool design in this game, like no matter what you do. Yes, it's down to you, Black Turner Gundam mustache thing. Guy. Yay, crossbone. I don't know why, but like the crossbone has always been like my favorite like main Gundam design. Like if you just told me to like pick a Gundam design that I liked, it would probably turn out to be the crossbone. Alright, I believe we have one more set of fights to do and then the mission is done. And we can move on to the actually like relevant mission out of these 5 missions. 3 out of 5 filler missions is not a good record, guys. It really isn't. You should spread them out just a little bit more. No Dom Thropin, no Gelgoog, no Zaku can beat Dumb. I just love the amount of detail, like how they drop in their freaking boxes, and the boxes are like actually like the kits. I love that little detail. It's such a minor thing, but it really adds to the whole atmosphere. I don't know why. Not to mention, if you see one drop in, you go, oh, that's cool, I want to go buy the model kit for that one. Then you walk straight into your shop and you see it sitting on the shelf. And you think, oh yeah, that's the one from the game, I want that one, I want that one. And then you buy it. Great stuff. Nuke. Let's nuke him. Didn't manage to kill him completely. We got bloody close. Here comes the buff. Thankfully, he's only back up to 2/3 of his health. Good night. I believe that's the end. Freaking armor gain cube? That's actually kind of useful. Let's, we've got a little bit of... Oh! There was a bloody mammoth there and we didn't even use him! What a jip! Didn't even see him! Alright, we got a bunch of... Yeah, that's from the Stargazer backpack. Oh. We also have the Moonlight Butterfly available to us. We may want to use that over what we have now. Let's see, we have... Is it... Yeah, what did it say it needed? It needed the... Needed the Turner Gundam body. So we have to replace the body with the bloody white body. Great. That's going to be fun to upgrade. We also have Gaffran arms, which are gold, but are otherwise not that much use to us. Might use as an upgrade material, eh? Got Turner Gundam legs. And they've actually got Nano Skin, which is a really useful ability, because it automatically restores your, framework with me, your health. And a Shenlong shield. Best we got. Oh, we did get an ABC mantle. Which is actually, like, kind of neat, because it's a cape. Alright.
次のニュースです。ここ数日被害が報告されている新型のコンピューターウイルスですが、さらに感染が拡大している模様です。コンピューターの AI プログラムに対し誤った命令を割り込ませるこのウイルスは自律型のロボットに対して特に大きな脅威となります。警視庁サイバー犯罪課よりセキュリティソフトウェアのインストール並びに最新バージョンへのアップデートが勧告されています。
たく、立ち悪いウイルスだな。もしもし。わかった。すぐ向かう。
お仕事大好き。いい加減にしないかこのポンコツが。お褒めに預かり嬉しいです。
Best line in the game coming up.
お前のペチャパイこそしっかりしろよ。
待たせたな。
That's like the one line in the game that gets me every time.
ペチャパイくらいで命を無駄にするな。
パイは命より重い。アップルパイにはアップルが入ってるけど、ペチャパイには何が入ってるの？
Second best line in the game. Man, someone was getting smarmy.
バーサー、こいつのバックアップデータはあるか？
ねえよ。
フォーマットすっか。
そりゃ困る。またゼロから仕事を覚えさせるのかよ。
仕方ねえ。ちょっと時間かかるが待ってろ。お前たちにも手伝ってもらうからな。準備できたぞ。シミュレーターでこいつ
How did he manage to pull that one off?
直接ウイルスプログラムを消去
That
してくれた。
robot was clearly destructive. How did he manage to get behind it and stick that gigantic plug in his head? Which, coincidentally, looks a lot like a Vita charging cable for the OLED models. Alright, we have some parts that I want to put on. Let's go put them on. This is going to take so long. Let's see, we've got... Do we want to use... Yeah, we want to use the Moonlight Butterfly, which means we need to turn a Gundam body. So let's put that on first. Alright, so we've got to start down with the Turner Gundam. And we want to fuse this with a green part. And we want to be careful not to... Harrow? I have not seen this ability before. I need to see what this is. Let's just wait here for a moment and wait for the effects to tick over and see what this is. I do not remember the Cherudim Gundam having this. What is this? It's an orange ability, so it's a story relevant ability. Not a story relevant, but like a response speed, 2.5%. We'll keep it on because there's no reason to get rid of it at this point. Yes, there is. It's irrelevant. Now, let's get that durability on it. Oh no. Oh no, we lost the nano skin. Where'd the nano skin go? Oh wait, that's in the legs. Let's do that. Alright, now we merge it up with the Power Rider. That brings it up to blue. And now, we're not going to lose anything if we just de-equip the Kyrios, so let's de-equip the Kyrios and fuse it. Why can't we fuse it up to... There we go. Don't know what happened there. What's the one that we want to get rid of? The clavicle antenna. Fuse it all together, and now the magnet coating is An irrelevant duplicate. There we go. We are now on the Turner Gundam body. Also, we have to work with... Now the Destiny Gundam with the CIWS. I think that's a Vulcan. I don't think there's anything here that realistically helps us out, though. So I think we'll just stick with the AAUG head for a little while at least. We're holding on to the Atomic Bazooka. Is there anything here that might let us... Ranged weapon gauge capacity 30%. That might actually be worth having on the Atomic Bazooka. So let's get that on. Where is it? This is why I hate the way this sorts. We're looking for the advanced Hazel Beam Rifle. Where is it? Oh, there it is. That would be what the double pack is. So, we can get rid of Parts Break EX Charge. There we go. That might actually give us 2 shots. It might not. It depends. I don't think we've got anything else we can really do at the moment. We can't... If we swap to that, we can't do much with it. Because we lose the cool-looking arms. Right, let's get on to the Stargazer backpack now, shall we? Now let's fuse it up to blue. And let's give it a couple of extra abilities just to be nice. More durability recovery effect? Don't mind if I fucking do. Option equipment gauge capacity, that's not particularly good for us at the moment. We'll take out the boost speed, because the boost recovery speed will work. Then we can get rid of the magnet coating with... what? Well, we take off propellant and magnet coating. Then the boost speed and the option charge equipment. We'll see which one of these are worth it. Anytime it decides it wants to show us what they're worth. I really wish there was a button to do this. It would really save like 10 to 15 seconds. Alright, we'll get rid of the physical resistance and the boost speed because we're getting better abilities on both. Job done. See, look, there's the thruster capacity again. What's going on with that? Must be the Sweeto's solar reactor. No? I have no idea what that wants. Alright, and I think we'll just leave the shield as it is for now. EX actions. Moonlight Butterfly. That ought to do the trick. Let's go tackle the last mission of this half of the chapter. And go from the filler to at least the tournament. Although, notably, this is an entirely unique step. Well, not entirely unique, but we'll get to it. For now, this is a brand new and thoroughly different looking stage. And it does certainly look nice. Those cubes looked very familiar to something I've seen before, but I can't put my mind to it. My first thought was Astral Chain, but I think that's just not quite. Yeah, it looks like I don't get 2 atomic bazooka shots. What a shame. But yeah, that's the entire justification. It's literally... he reconfigured the virus to be a gunpla. Our attacks do vaccine damage. And now we just need to beat the crap out of the virus. Literally. If only we could do that with COVID-19. Video demonetized. Worth noting, I believe there are Master Gundams here now. They can be a little bit of a shit. Because they have Shining Finger. Because of course they do. Welcome back, Bruce, for like the 3rd time in this recording session. Are you enjoying the weather? Why will mainly be pressing down on the analog stick most of the time? Pressing up on the analog stick to lock onto the nearest enemy that's like really relevant, whether it be one of the big dudes or what have you. Actually pretty useful in the long run. Eat nuke! Break. I'm not even going to say what that beam rifle was. Because there's probably some really snooty way of pronouncing it. That doesn't sound like the word cum. I am so out of material. Admittedly, this place does actually look pretty nice. But again, it's another one of those really underutilized kinds of levels. Like, compare that to, like, the levels we played through in the rest of this chapter. Those ones are guaranteed to show up a few more times each. It's really a shame they couldn't, like, recycle a lot of areas from Gundam Breaker 1 and 2. So there's the turrets I was talking about. They can be a shit. Especially if you don't have a long-range weapon that's really capable of fighting them. Me, I hate them so much I'm just gonna fucking nuke them. Gone. Done. They just sit there and shoot at ya. Endlessly. They never stop, they never reload, they're just there to deal some bonus damage to ya while they can. Be very careful of them. Especially on higher difficulties, because let them go unchecked for too long and they will take you and all of your teammates' health down. Good fucking hit! What a show! God damn, that was great. I never get things to line up that perfectly for me. Hang on, focus on the ones that are really close together first. Kablamo! Cuts it down from 5 to 2. I'll take it. Shame I only get one of those. This is why I also say don't neglect your option equipment. Because even if you don't have much in the way of, like, decent option equipment, you can still have something that'll help you peck away at those turrets. So that they become much less annoying over the course of time. There goes my phone again. I really hope that's not something important. I love being a Beyblade. Alright. Nuking the turrets. All of them in one shot. Thank you very much, Mr. Nuclear Missile. Well, a couple more appeared, but that's okay. Turrets. It is so nice when you're not only able to equip not trackable by turrets, but also not trackable by mines, so that you basically have nothing to worry about when it comes to environmental obstacles. Still doesn't mean you can't get the shit beaten out of you by a shining finger, but I'm sure you all figured that out already. So we've got a lot of turrets going over there, but they're all pretty far away from each other. So there's really nothing for it except to just get in and start swinging. That is if I don't get shining fingered by every bloody bastard in the room. Right, I forgot. The layout of this level is kind of a pain in the ass. So it makes it kind of hard to navigate. As you can see, even the AI kind of has trouble with the turrets. Admittedly, this is probably because they're focused on the small fry, which is probably the right idea. Although I could have ordered them to go and take out the turrets for me. I can do it faster though, so there's no real point. And they are really good with pointing out those stunners at the right time, aren't they? Bastards. Come on, thank you. Should I nuke him? Nah, I probably should. There's probably a bigger boss fight coming up right around the corner. Let's save it. I'm healing for 270,000. And I've got 278,000 health. Now this is why I've got this big fat circle on my back. Green rings of doom and destruction. I love these freaking rings. I don't know what it is about the Stargazer Gundam and the way they've designed it, but it just appeals to me on a base level. Damn, I missed the opportunity to do the Moonlight Butterfly. That's alright. We'll get the opportunity to show it off relatively shortly. I'm pretty sure there's a big-ass boss fight at the end of this. If not, there's always next episode. We are dropping the Moonlight Butterfly before we get to see it at least once. Bloody holes in the floor you can't see. God damn it. Big bastards. See, look, there's this tiny little ledge and I can't get up it. Because I'm in the middle of being a Beyblade. So annoying. More turrets. I'll take care of that turret for us at least. Block off of them. Where are the turrets? Must find the turrets. Okay, there's one. Multi-blast. No, that wasn't effective as I'd hoped. Where's the way down? It's here somewhere, I know it is. They're not going to make me go all the way around, are they? No, I've played this level very recently. I should know the answer to that question. Complete and utter miss of that attack. Good job, me. Bit weird that you have to fall down a hole, but okay. And here we go. It's basically another core mission. You just gotta take out all the dudes protecting the core. And then you can attack it. Who might you be? GNX. A rather dark variant of the GNX. Alright, I promised I'd show off the Moonlight Butterfly. Let's do it. Yeah. Not the most effective attack, but it does break off parts. And it does look pretty. I'm pretty sure there is one more wave we get to deal with. Hang on, hold back. Nuke it. Yeah! Now, I honestly thought there was going to be another wave of that, but I guess not. Honestly, I'm surprised the Atomic Bazooka, acting as an antivirus, didn't do more damage. Think of it like the Norden of Gunpla antiviruses. I don't even think we got much work out of that. Well, we did manage to level up Multi-Blast into Multi-Punisher, which is nice. Just a bunch of basic parts. Nothing much higher than, like, one blue and nothing higher. Compare that to the last mission where we got a gold.
Hmm. どこにも問題はないな。
インフォちゃん、私がわかる？はい、ミサさん、ご迷惑をおかけしました。まったくこの店なり様どうしてくれるんだい。マスター、申し訳ありませんでした。私を廃棄なさいますか？バカ言ってないでさっさと片付けな。マスター、ありがとうございます。
I don't know if it's a bad thing or not. Whether or not the first thought through the robot servant's head is seppuku.
あとどれくらい？
またかよ。さっきもう少しだっつったろ？
何か面白い話して。
お前それ話の振りとしては最低だからな。
And now you know why I make the whole "It's a Misa Misa"
何
jokes.
こないだのコンピューターウイルスな、出どころが分かったんだよ。
不正プログラム作成の疑いで
Safety security software. Feels like the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The more you say it, the less likely it is to be true.
ここ数年でシェアを伸ばしてきてたセキュリティソフトの開発会社だ。
セキュリティソフト会社がコンピューターウイルスを作ってた。
昔からそういう都市伝説はあったんだが、本当にやるやつがいたとはな。技術者の風上にも置けないやつだ。
でもバレちゃったんだ。悪いことはできないね。
それだよ。どうしてバレたと思う？続きを読んでみろ。
Also, it's kind of unfortunate that his name is Virus. Because why?
なお、この買収が完了した後、3S は解体されている。
お前んとこの商店街が閑古鳥になったのって確かここの百貨店のせいだったよな。
こんなところでこの名前を見るなんて。でも、なんでタイムズユニバースが 3S の悪事を暴いてるの？
知らん。
なんだよもう。
お、見えたぞ。
Did he spell potato chips on his car's dashboard? Why are you in the rearview mirror? You would be blocking the rearview mirror so badly.
皆さん、こんにちは。ガンプラバトルジャパンカップ出場おめでとうございます。タウンカップ、リージョンカップを勝ち抜いてここまで来た皆さん。
The dog just walked in and then walked right back out. Cannot make up his mind today to save his life.
これから始まる数々のバトルに。
Should have heard the hissy fit he was having over the bloody chair last night. It was ridiculous.
私も皆さんの素晴らしいバトルを楽しみにしています。それではここで皆さんおなじみミスターガンプラから激励の一言。ミスターお願いします。
ただいま紹介に預かりましたミスターガンプラです。本日このような素晴らしい日に皆さんと共にいられることを心から感謝しています。
I feel like that gold chain around his neck should say Gunpla for life or
お
something.
茶が入りました。何をご覧になっているのですか？
別にたまたまチャンネルがそこにあってただけさ。
ガンプラバトルですか？
何をしているんだあんたは。
そして忘れもしない12歳の夏、私は見送りの
That's my
飛
share.
行場で斉藤君に2人で手に入れた優勝トロフィーを渡し、いつの日かの再会を約束したのです。それから
ミスター、そろそろ救護室に。
そうか。
His speeches are so long he sends people to the hospital tent. Fun.
君たちガンプラは好きか？ガンプラバトルに勝ちたいか？これから始まる戦いに君たちが一層奮い立つよう私がプレゼントを用意した。このジャパンカップに優勝したチームと大会終了後のエキシビションマッチで私がバトルするというものだ。
His afro just pops off and it's an SD Gundam.
最強のチャレンジャーを待っているぞ。
So yeah, there we go. 2 hours later. Jesus. We've finally finished what is basically the filler arcs of Chapter 3. None of the other chapters are this long. Not by much. But this is still the longest chapter. And I do apologize for that. Notably, there's just one thing I want to do before we leave. We can actually change the glow color of all our parts. I believe this also counts for the backpack. So we probably just want to put it back on, I believe I had it on Command Crimson. Whoops, got to do it for everything. I had it on Command Crimson. And then we make it more metallic to make our parts fit in better. Because it always just looks better when the parts fit in better. Like, it's obvious these arms weren't meant for this body. But it still looks cool. Let's just change the glow levels. Now, if I remember correctly, it also does that when we go to photograph. Look at that. We can upload him to Gundam Perfect Games. Let's do it. Why not? Let's see if someone fights the second version of Dumb with the Stargazer Gundam backpack. There we go. Unfortunately, it does not appear to change the color of the Stargazer Gundam rings, but I still like the Stargazer Gundam rings. We're going to end it off here. Next time on Let's Play Gundam Breaker 3, we will finish Chapter 3? Question mark? Hopefully it'll be nowhere near as long as this episode. This has been Blue Maxima. I'll see you all next time.